Hell yeah.
Oh.
I'm digging that thumbnail. Digging that thumbnail.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Alright.
Hey,
everybody. I'm Sam.
And I'm Will.
And
we are Working Title.
Do not choke on your aspirations, Director Craig. Guys, we are back. It is that time. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Disney Plus series. This is Season 1, Episode 5, Part 5. Imperial forces attempt to draw Obi-Wan out. Last on, our man Obi-Wan, the master himself, snuck into a high-level prison and escaped.
Yes,
Princess Leia. Just like in New Hope, Tala is also safe. We only lost one rebel.
Wade.
Rest in peace, Wade, who made a joke. And Ice Cube's son, welcome to the Resistance. And Vader is not pleased. Supposedly, Reva has put a device that will track us to the Jedi sympathizers.
And we saw it at the end of last episode. The little ladybug droid.
So we'll have to see how this goes.
So guys, if y'all like the video, leave a like, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you know when we drop more Obi-Wan and Star Wars reactions. Comment down below what's your favorite part of the show so far. And we got a Patreon. If y'all want to check out some shows 1 week in advance, join our Discord, or just be a sponsor and support the channel, hit the link in the description. It helps us make videos every single day that y'all love, like this one.
Guys, make sure you check out Disney Plus. They're the ones who make this so that we can react to it and then come back and watch your boys. We're gonna punch it. Pow! Coruscant!
Yeah, right. This is how we're starting.
Anakin! Whoa. Whoa.
Was beginning to think you weren't coming.
Aww.
Oh, this is weird. Okay. Sorry.
So pretty.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, they look happy to be together. Damn it.
I feel like I'm watching an alternate reality right now.
Shit.
That was a really beautiful place they were fighting.
Yeah. She always looks so nervous. Like in moments like this.
Great honor.
Kneel.
Oh shit.
Bend the knee.
Bend the knees.
Reva.
Grand Inquisitor.
Sussy.
For now.
For now.
Haja.
Oh,
Hey.
What are you doing here? I don't know what it feels like being a real Jedi.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Good business opportunity for him to scam people.
Yeah.
Trans can't help.
I think that's a Trandoshan behind him.
let's hurry it up. Get ready for dusk.
I noticed there's a lot of humans in this show.
Yeah.
It is not them we need to break.
Just Obi-Wan. Just Obi-Wan. This little rat, dude. When did she have time to put a tracker in this fucking thing?
And Leia was taking her little nap.
Yeah, true. Who else?
Yeah.
Who else has been here? But it's not. Yeah. That's so sad.
And you were saying you think who would show up in the show?
I feel.
With the yellow oh my
Oh my
lord!
God, what the hell?
Wow, General Grievous would be going crazy.
Fiending for this. And the robes. Oh.
How do you know?
Oh.
He knows how he is.
Mercy doesn't defeat an enemy, Master.
Oh, he sounds so young. He still has a youthful voice,
Yeah.
even in his old years.
Oh gosh.
That's pretty great. That's a cool shot. That's definitely appearing in one of those montages
Oh
for
yeah.
years to come.
Are they just gonna like suicide bomb the?
Yeah, I knew I saw
Whoa,
Trandoshans.
Yeah. There's the purge troopers.
Yeah, there they are. Damn. I want to see one of the Predator troopers with a little.
Staff. Light them up.
You trust me? I trust her.
Let's go.
It's her Lego Star Wars character. All the children in Lego Star Wars are the ones you sent through.
Aja, please, just watch. I'm not a babysitter.
I pray you're safe, Obi-Wan.
Ugh, damn.
Shit.
It's like a voicemail message.
Yeah.
How are they gonna get out of this?
Some things you can't forget. But you can fight to make them better.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
He's gonna have to go out there and show off those Clone Wars days.
You got a plan B here?
He's gonna bowcast
Yo,
there.
it's gonna break his shoulder. Then again, I think Han used it. Never
Buy as
mind.
much time as I can. You, Anakin. You knew who Vader was.
Yeah, she did.
Back on Daiyu, how did you know that? Vader would have kept that hidden. You were too young to have known.
Yep.
She's a youngling.
Unless you were there.
Another one was.
The night of Order 66, you were a youngling.
Damn.
That's how you knew you saw him.
Stop.
You better watch. That lightsaber can't go through this door.
He killed the other younglings,
Enough.
but somehow you
Enough!
What,
Show us.
what if Anakin spared her some crazy shit?
Oh shit.
Yeah, Anakin. But not her.
He cut them all down, so what?
How are you able to play dead in front of him?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, you're hunting him.
Uh,
Let me help you.
Do you really want Anakin dead?
damn. You could have done it. Ugh.
Where were you?
Yeah,
I
this is.
was killing my friend.
I knew it. I knew that would be her, like, reasoning, too.
Because you're proud of him.
Yeah.
It was on a mission.
Why didn't you stop him? Why didn't you save us?
It was across the galaxy, man. Jeez.
And
It'd be crazy if Vader heard all this.
Stop him alone.
you have no idea what I've done.
Woo! Oh.
You should have started with that.
Nice. Oh my god, dude, there's so many of them. What the?
Oh, get wrecked,
Nice.
Purge. Come on, only get some lightsaber fights. Damn it. A lot of blasters.
The sword and shield technique.
Yeah, it's a lot of blasters. Yes, come on, Thor droid. Just charge him. Yes! Thor, it's all you! Charge them with their huge ass body!
Dude,
Tala.
she's dead.
Run,
There's no
Tala.
way.
Run, Tala. Yeah.
Yeah! Yeah!
Yeah!
Oh! Oh, and so is Thor droid.
Big droid will carry you, but I can't move. I'm sorry.
This is so sweet. Nice.
Rebuild me next time and I will do my best. Ugh. Poor guy.
She got like a grenade or something. This would be like the
He
perfect
put his
time.
body in front of her. Yeah.
Yep. Damn.
There's no way out, Master. Admit you are beaten. What is?
He has to admit that he's lost a fight.
I fought for too long. You can't just throw that away.
Not good fight.
Ways to fight.
Mentally toil with Vader. Oh
What's he
man.
gonna do?
Well, I mean, we already saw Vader and him encounter each other. And Vader didn't kill him.
Maybe he can convince her to, you know what I mean? Like, yo, be on my side real quick.
I'm
Bringing him to you. Yep. Yep.
This isn't over yet.
Oh, Reva's out. 100% dead.
There are families back there.
Just like you.
Maybe we can let him do it.
Come on. Break through to her.
He won't see it coming.
Because all he'll see is me.
Yeah. He'll lock on to Obi-Wan and be done with it. Whoa.
Your
Sheesh.
weapon's gone. Your need for victory, Anakin, it blinds you.
And that's what he's taking advantage of right here. This is it. Oh, shit.
Wonder how this is gonna.
He's probably gonna trap both of them in here together so she can like run the 1v1, you know what I mean?
Against Vader, not even try to like 2v1.
I mean, it's like on electronics, you know, it's like just a button. You have to like stick a needle in to reset or pen.
Yeah.
To reset it, that's all it took. Get in the ship.
The fact that they built a machine that only a child is able to get into is the worst.
No, it might be for those, you know, like the Ugnaughts, you know what I mean? Little aliens. Oh shit. You gotta grab that.
Yeah, wait, that's the thing
communication.
about the daughter and Luke.
Oh my god! There's no way. Bruh. Oh my god. Oh, it was a trick. Oh, you idiot. Vader.
He's like, no shit, girl!
Oh,
That's what I wanted to see.
that was scary.
But you'll need to prove yourself as your undoing.
He's still got that problem 10 years later.
Until you overcome.
This ain't gonna work. I mean, did you not see him just rip a ship in half? So Obi-Wan just played Reva.
Yeah.
He said, oh, you're a Padawan? Sorry.
Whoa.
He's not even using his lightsaber.
Oh my god. You gonna stop it?
I mean, Reva, it should be so clear. Your only option is run. Yeah, he does-
Oh!
yeah.
He wants the 1v1. Let's do this. Enough with this fucking child's play. What is it? What is she doing?
It's just
Oh!
it's not fair. Like, I don't know. This was very poorly thought.
It's dark side users though.
She must have not seen him use any power.
Maybe he did, like somehow missed a vital spot back then and she played dead that way.
Like she got on the side.
Yeah.
Did you really believe I did not see it, youngling?
Oh, that she hid all that time?
So he just let it happen.
Are of no further use.
In the Grand Inquisitor, okay. Yeah. Alright, makes sense. Vader just played everybody.
Third sister. Revenge does wonders for the will to live, don't you think? In the gutter where you belong.
Damn.
It looks really good right there.
Yeah.
See these shots?
Goodbye, Grand Inquisitor.
That's so petty. Again, we don't have that little cell phone communicator, which is very important. That was left behind.
Oh, what if she finds it though? What happens if she finds it? What does that do for us? Yeah, see, I don't know. I forgot that we have one more episode. I keep forgetting that. I keep thinking this is the finale. exactly.
She
She
met Owen.
knows who Owen is.
He knows that he just got done
I'm sure
in.
it's nothing.
Oh.
Thank you, Rook.
Stress drink. I don't know why I'm nervous. Like, I know Luke and Owen are fine. So what do we have to worry about? I'm not sure. Oh, wow. Alright. Alrighty, folks. That was episode 5 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's pretty good. I really, truly forgot that it was not the finale until you mentioned that device was still left back there.
Yeah. I mean, we still got one more episode. Unless they're going to do like a next episode, like some surprise at the end of next episode that's like not really over yet.
Also true, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or returning in season 2, something like that.
Yeah, I do wonder how long they could really stretch this story.
Yeah.
With Vader fully knowing that Obi-Wan is like he's tailing Obi-Wan. Like, how long can that go for?
Yeah. I'd just be curious because of the whole... I'm trying not to get hung up on the conversation they have on A New Hope.
Right.
But like, or in A New Hope on the Death Star. But it's like, at some point Obi-Wan has to like best him. You know what I mean?
He does.
And I can't imagine like that this was him besting him.
No.
So...
Honestly, this felt more like a win for Vader, even though Obi-Wan got out with his life.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like, regardless of Obi-Wan, what this opportunity allowed for Vader is to reveal the rat that has been festering for 10 years.
Yeah.
Which I guess has been like a long thing he has expected. If we're supposed to believe that line was meaning that he knew he didn't fully kill that youngling.
Yeah. I wish
like maybe it was I'm trying to just picture in my head just to like forgive the fact that Reva survived that moment. In my head, like right now, what I'm working with to make that scene work for me in Order 66 is okay. Anakin knows that he's fallen. He knows no one's gonna accept him anymore. He's going in, killing, begrudgingly so or hatefully so or whatever is on his mind. Maybe it's just extreme tunnel vision. He's not like really fully focusing on the fact that he's killing. So maybe he's like, okay, I swiped that kid. Probably won't die. She does, whatever. And then moves on to the bigger targets in the buildings. And then when the day comes that people or she comes to like serve the Empire, maybe willingly, saying, hey, I'm a Force person, he might suspect her and be like, that's the kid that I didn't fully kill. I'll have to keep an eye on her because there might be some resentment and see how this builds later in life.
Yeah. I wish that they gave a little more of her backstory. Just kind of like... I mean, that might take a whole episode of explaining, but just like how she got out of there. Because okay, I don't know how accurate this is, but I know in the first episode when they showed the younglings that turned the corner, that clearly was Reva and her group of friends. And some people on like social media had made the connection that like those kids are like the same ones that Obi-Wan and Yoda walk up on and like in the middle of the temple, like by the bridge, like in Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
So, but like they were like, oh look, there's 4 bodies. It's like literally relating it to the movie.
Okay.
So that means that at minimum, she got out of there by Night's End before Obi-Wan and Yoda showed up. Plus, she also was like, "Where were you? Where were you?" And so, so I don't know. I'd just be curious to see like how she survived because like I'm pretty sure in the Vader comic that all of the Inquisitors at that time that Disney had written and Disney and Marvel had wrote up had been like selected like literally immediately after Vader becomes Vader.
Yeah.
It's not like they spent 5 years handpicking all these people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like they had a plan as who might be people that would join.
I don't remember if it's like they knew exactly or if it was just like the surviving Jedi / Force sensitive people are like, we're going to use these guys. And then they just like took them in.
Yeah, because I never followed that, so I didn't necessarily know like the practicality of how we got Inquisitors whether it was like peer pressure or like a hand-selected prior of like Jedi we know are not necessarily following the Jedi ways already. Kind of like a I want to say Creel. Who's the giant guy who it's treason then like steals that line in Clone Wars? The big
That's
guy.
his species.
That guy, the big one with the forearms. Like, would they have like possibly been like, okay, this guy's kind of like iffy, questionable. The Jedi don't like him. We'll consider him as an Inquisitor one day. Or maybe they knew the Grand Inquisitor would be a good Grand Inquisitor because maybe he talks some shit at the lunch table with some of the Jedi in the evening, afternoons, of why he doesn't like Mace Windu or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, Anakin didn't plan on, like, it wasn't like for 5 years he was planning to turn the dark side. It kind of just happened.
So maybe
Sidious,
not Vader. Maybe Sidious had, like, ideas.
I mean, Sidious might have, like, picked these people out exactly. I don't know. I know roughly about the comics, so I don't want to speak for a fact, but, you know, anybody can feel free to correct us.
Yeah.
In nice ways.
And as for Reva, like, I get what you mean for, like, you wish there was a little bit more to it, because I feel like episode 1, we essentially called, she'd be a youngling, probably has resentment towards Obi-Wan, because all the seeds are already there in episode 1. She's looking for Obi-Wan. She's already found him. She's very on track to get him. Maybe it's just spite, because he was not there the day to get help, and we didn't learn anything new today about Reva, really.
Yeah.
Truly, other than that she literally encountered Anakin and somehow was passerby by him.
And she wants to, like,
off him himself.
Yeah.
Like, that was the only news, which we also, I think you brought up as a possibility.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, I don't know. But overall, I mean, I actually really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't care much for the ensemble cast. Like, Tala's cool. Roken, he's okay.
Yeah.
And even Haja, he's okay.
Yeah.
Like, they're kind of just, not uninspiring, but just kind of, like, boring a little to me. They don't, like, excite me. Maybe it's just, like, the tones of the episode. Like, there's not, like, any, like, this planet's kind of like it.
Yeah.
There's nothing, like, we're on, like, some backwatery mud shithole.
Yeah.
With people that aren't super exciting. Like, honestly, everything from me in this episode that did it, surprisingly, Reva, you're on the list for this. Reva was great in this episode, or enjoyable. Obi-Wan, but obviously Vader and Anakin, for me, steal this episode. And not even just the Coruscant part. Like, that part was cool. I liked it. Like, visually, it was obviously cool. But I think it was more cool talking about how Vader works in his mind and how that will function for the present day.
Yeah.
Because Obi-Wan knows that he is still the same boy. Like, him turning to the dark side is not going to change his mentality fully.
Yeah.
It'll probably only double down on that stupidity that he falls on as a Jedi.
It's also funny though because just like I don't know about you, but like when you think about like Vader in like the original trilogy, he always seems more like cold and calculated. But then it's like knowing how Anakin is and was, it's like Anakin was, like you said, a great warrior, but it's like he's a little stupid in the sense of he just kind of like he lets his goal overtake him and like cause him to lose. So it's just funny because like there's not a lot of things where we see where Vader is getting bested. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't really happen at all. Now, I mean, he's so strong that, like, only the only people that can best him are, like, someone that's, like, Sidious, Yoda, Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
You know.
Top dogs.
Luke. But, yeah. So, but I agree with you. Like, Reva, Obi-Wan, Vader really stole the show.
And to start the episode was the immediate follow-up that we're landing on this planet. We're going to close ourselves in, or like prep ourselves to leave this place because there's no chance of really fighting the Empire. We just got to run because they already know our location, or they'll probably be inbound at any point. And little Leia's droid traps him inside there. Obi-Wan reads a message on the Jedi wall saying that like the fire or the light will never fully be extinguished. They have to, in 1 hour, open up the...
Yeah, they basically have an
Think about
hour to
that.
get out of there.
And then following that scene, we get a bunch of flashes to Coruscant, starting off the who is Anakin, or who was he and who is he now conversation. Obi-Wan basically realizing how this will probably go down because of how his Padawan has always been.
Yeah.
Now, just on that scene, just on the Coruscant, how you feeling about that? How you feeling about like the looks overall?
I think it looked pretty good. They did a good job of making him sound younger.
Yeah.
And I would say the deepfake was pretty good. I don't think it's as good as Luke's was in Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you could still see, and, like, of course it happens, people get old, like, you could see his, like...
His wrinkles are pretty.
His wrinkles, like, they're... But, in fairness, like, he has them, you know, now, currently.
Yeah. I was gonna... It was a time... I have nothing wrong with Hayden Christensen. You can't...
And even Obi-Wan's, too.
I guess it's just because Obi-Wan was an older figure that I just let it go with him. For Hayden, I can't hate the guy because it's like... Oh, I wasn't gonna hate him anyway. You can't discredit that just because it's he's old. You can't fix that kind of problem.
Yeah.
I honestly, if I had to take a guess before seeing behind the scenes features, which I'm sure will come out in the next few weeks for this scene, I'm gonna take a guess and say they didn't deepfake. I'm fully believing that that's how he looks right now. Because I was looking, I was like, man, why didn't they?
You think they just packed him up with a bunch of makeup?
Yeah. I really do, because I've seen interviews with him. Honestly, I thought he looked younger in interviews than he did in these shots. And, like, he's very noticeably...
I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Okay.
The only reason I say that is because, like, the wrinkles for his cheeks...
That's all... I kept seeing that the whole time.
I saw that the whole time for sure, but they were subtly noticeable in this. To me, I noticed more of his forehead than the cheeks. When he would make certain facial expressions, I could see it more. But there were times, or like in all of the promo and the interview, I mean, it's very defined.
I guess so.
And I'm like, again, I'm not trying, like, he's older. It's part of life.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. I don't know. It's hard to tell just because I was like, I felt like it was like covered up enough, but just a little bit there. I mean, if they had the capability to make Luke completely look like Luke, and they had like a mix of a stand-in and Mark Hamill actually being there, I feel like,
yeah,
like, why wouldn't they be able to do Anakin all that well? But
I guess I should say I'm probably criticizing the special effects as opposed to Hayden, because
beautiful man.
Luke looked amazing.
Yeah.
In Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And that was a stand-in in Mark Hamill, and Mark Hamill is extremely fucking old.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like Luke anymore, like not like the younger Luke, but that Luke, in my mind, though he didn't talk as much in the Book of Boba episodes, but still talked a good bit, looked just like Luke.
Yeah.
This, I mean, when I think of Anakin with his little braid, I mean, he's really young, he's really tan, really attractive looking guy. So I was kind of shocked that they, like, I would have been totally okay with how he looked if he had his Revenge of the Sith hair in today's flashback and did a Revenge of the Sith, because I think, okay, a couple more years I can let it pass, but they chose the Padawan,
the teenager version.
Still Padawan, Attack of the Clones era, who's, like, in my mind is very noticeably young in the movies.
Yeah.
So it's hard because it's very obvious that the actor's 17 years or something older now, so... It wasn't bad, though. Overall, that scene was great. Camera's about to die. We'll come right back to this conversation. As for the actual fight sequence, really cool. I think this was really awesome. Like, an episode, in terms of Star Wars in general. I think this was a really cool moment, something more that I was expecting from the Obi-Wan series with Hayden Christensen. Great performance from Hayden, have to say. I mean, I really... There's nothing wrong with Ian McGregor's performance. I think Anakin's just a little bit more of a standout because it's more of a surprise to actually see him in the show, because I knew this was the Obi-Wan show. I didn't think Hayden would be much in this, so it's easier for me to compliment the actor that I was less preparing to see on screen.
Yeah.
So just real quick on Hayden, very exciting. I love seeing the Attack of the Clones outfit. Love the ponytail. I'm surprised I'm not shocked. I was like in the moment. Like, I was just happy.
Oh, yeah.
I was just very happy.
Yeah, It was a good moment, and it tied in well with the story. Like, it made sense why they were showing it. And that was one thing, too, like, you know, trying not to be, like, the crazy Star Wars fan of being like, when would it make sense to have a flashback in this story? And this was probably, like, the best time to really do it. Yeah. Other than the intro with Order 66.
And even Obi-Wan this episode was pretty good, too. Just seeing him have to kind of jump back into the fight more so than prior. Have to actually get back into a little skirmish. And to see also what comes with war. Like, people dying. Like, I know he's grown up with that all his life. But then he's removed himself on Tatooine. So, when you
reintroducing himself to the concept of these people putting their lives on the line, really just for him. They're doing it for themselves too, but like this wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for him and Leia in that instance.
I mean, I can't share that experience. I can only share it on a more mundane level because I've never witnessed war. But if you had like a wild part in your life, and then you go to stuff that's more mundane, you can almost imagine for those 10 years that I still experience fear of those other things, but it's so far removed now that it's only like a nightmare. Yeah. And then it's like, the nightmare is actually still a thing that happens. People I love are still dying in the field. Holy shit. It's no longer a nightmare. The nightmare is ever still present.
That's a reality.
So.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know I got like sidetracked from like the plot.
No, you're good. But yeah, the Leia decides to try and fix the, door, the hangar door. They all prep for the fight, and they all hold up like right at the exterior door. Reva starts blasting away, and then they, go for negotiations. Obi-Wan has kind of figured out that what Reva's goal is, like, hey, like, you knew Anakin, and most people don't know who, he was like, I know that they wouldn't want people to know who Vader actually is. Yeah. So, you knew him, and you're too young to have been, like, a Jedi or, like, anybody. So you were a youngling. Like, you were there that night when this all started.
How old? How old do you think Reva looks to you? You think she's, like, our age?
I would assume, like, early 20s, mid-20s.
Okay.
Because
I guess the Imperial outfit just makes her feel older to me.
She also, like, struts around, like, you know what I mean? Like, but she also acts super young. Like, it makes sense. When
it does.
When you think about it more, you're like, oh, yeah, she's probably, like, supposed to be, like, a 19-year-old. Because at that time, it looked like she should have been, like, 9, 10, 11. And
it's only been 10 years.
It's only been 10 years, so she would have been 18, 19, 20, 21.
And that would be the same for Trilla. Trilla's a good comparison to compare and contrast with her because they're both very similar in that fashion. Because all the others are just humanoids. Yeah. But two girls that are both very young at the start of Order 66. Man, even in my mind, even with Trilla, I would imagine Trilla's younger than me, but because of that damn armor, she feels so much older and more.
Trilla might be a little bit older because she was like an actual Padawan.
Yeah. Okay.
Not just a youngling.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah. Because she had a
with
master.
Seer.
Well, yeah, with Seer.
That poor Rodian. Yeah, so that was cool for Reva. And I know this kind of goes towards the end of the episode too, but just on Reva, definitely earned a couple more points for me. I think this episode was a lot of, gave a lot of, like, thought back on previous episodes on how she's behaved now. Like, just knowing, confirming where she stands against the Empire, kind of forgives certain moments from past episodes, just overall. Yeah. The only thing I would say, though, now, on just the criticism of that character is how do the Inquisitors not, like, sure, has she, because to me, she came off as not fully menacing, or not fully invested in evil, which was some of my criticism of the other guy, too, the fifth brother. It didn't seem super menacing. Now it works because maybe she didn't fully want to get on board with that, with Vader, but I'm just so surprised that they let it go this far.
Yeah, I mean, they might have had, like, doubts of maybe she participated in some of, like Tala gave the backstory of her seeing the 14 people that were killed by the Empire, and some of them were children.
Yeah.
So,
like, do you think Vader just, or like some of them maybe just had hopes that Reva would eventually, even in her little plotting schemes, would still fall to the dark side, just by default by living near Darksiders?
I don't think that they hope for that. It's just, but like Vader said, like, you were useful for a time. You're not anymore. Like, like she was a pawn of the Empire. Like, I think when it boils down to it, all of these people are just, means to an end for Vader.
Just a weapon.
Yeah, just a weapon. And it's like, well, you're not as sharp as you once were. Oh, you're something that actually can cause me harm.
Yeah.
I'll send you away at this point.
Like, what it could very well be is maybe Reva was insane as an Inquisitor. Really worked hard to become like working up the chain, but when we find her in Obi-Wan, she is finally at that level where she can start her plan.
Yeah.
And that's where she starts to falter and maybe starts to take risks, aka stabbing the Grand Inquisitor, maybe not going for lethals right off the bat, like she wants to try to mess around and figure out the scene a bit more. Like, maybe she's a little shaky in herself.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta remember, too, in the beginning of this thing, it's like, bro, Obi-Wan is not around anymore. No one's found him. Like, we've given up the hunt on him. Like that it seemed like it was her, because she knew who Anakin was, she knew that Obi-Wan was going to be, like, her ticket to getting close to Vader.
Yeah.
So...
And, like, stepping out of line multiple times. Maybe, since it seems the Grand Inquisitor might have been in on the plan, excuses why he let it go a couple times. When it would be like, bro, put this person in line. They are disobeying you. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, there shouldn't be a second talk. It should be, you're going back or you're dying.
Yeah.
So maybe they really just wanted to see how it handled. And Vader's a toyer. He likes to toy. They've proven it in the show. He likes to toy. Yeah. So maybe they put the Inquisitors under order to let this fester, because Vader wants to be the one.
Game, yeah.
And Vader wants to be the one to be like, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The whole fight sequence was really cool, like, of the stormtroopers facing off with the, the rebellion gang.
Finally saw Purge Troopers.
Yeah, finally saw Purge Troopers. Rip Tala, she's dead. She went up in a sacrificial, grenade of flames. And Thor droid, I don't remember his name. But
Thor droid.
Thor works.
Fell over and, like, body shielded her.
Yeah. And then Obi-Wan decides to surrender himself, where he has that whole, idea to do. Oh, wait. One thing. Sorry. Going back a little bit. Before this all started, Obi-Wan and Tala before Obi-Wan and Tala had a conversation, Obi-Wan got a message from Bail.
Right.
And he's basically like, you're worrying me because I haven't heard you, but, like, if I don't hear from you in the next day or two, like, I'm going to Tatooine and getting Owen and the boy. And Obi-Wan gives over his equipment to Haj. He's like, take care of this stuff, watch her, please.
Haj couldn't have even done that.
Yeah, and he dropped the communication device.
One job.
Obi-Wan manages to escape the stormtroopers, and then they are about to take off when Vader is storming in. That was crazy.
That was really cool.
Ripping he literally stopped it from taking off, threw it down, and then just started ripping off sides of it. I mean, there you go, Sam. That was your Fallen Order. That was the most menacing Vader we've gotten. No. Rogue One is 1,000 times more menacing, because that was like a horror movie scene. but this was very intense. That was like an angry Vader. Like, I'm fucking getting this now.
I mean, I'm excited to, like, go on social media and see a compilation of Vader moments.
Oh yeah.
On, like, a TikTok or something, where they do this scene, they do Fallen Order, they do
the
Rogue One Hall scene, and whatever other things I might be missing out on.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. Love that scene. I love that Vader, like, knew that he got duped, but also knew that there was, like, a double dupe.
Yeah.
Like, learned that Obi-Wan didn't just get away, but he also basically helped rat out the rat for Vader.
Yeah.
Well, that's the most shocking part of this whole episode. Obi-Wan was like, okay, you want to kill Vader? I'm with you.
I mean, in fairness, she didn't really want him to fight with her.
Yeah.
She just wanted that. She wanted to run the one. You know what I mean? She wanted to run that fade on her own.
I have to imagine she's fully underestimated his capabilities and has not seen him go full 100%.
I mean, you gotta remember too, Darkseid users are all arrogant. They all think they're so strong. You know what I mean? Like,
gosh, they have to be so blind though.
Yeah, I mean, granted, there are people that are smarter, like Sidious, for example. Like Sidious, I don't know, Darth Plagueis, that whole thing is kind of canon, kind of not. So, but he was smart. Like he didn't take on his master when he like knew that he was going to be bested by him. But you know, he took his time. Where even Vader and like all the comics and everything, he literally tries to kill Palpatine, and in some of the books, he tries to kill Palpatine like 15 fucking times, like over and over and over again. And he's like, "Bro, would you like stop? Like you're not strong enough to beat me."
It's an insult.
Yeah.
At this point.
So, and that was a great fight. I mean, just the fact that he was just using the Force like to do everything,
I mean,
and then
so like, oh man.
and then she
Reva.
dude, when she was spinning the saber, and then he pulled it from her and broke it in half and was like, "Take one. Now let's really fight." That was so good.
Accept your losses, and yeah, so I suppose there was confirmation on how, like, he did strike her. It wasn't like she just, because how the scene felt like they were trying to portray it for the Order 66 was like, oh, my friend got hit, my other friend got hit, play dead.
Yeah.
So she did get stabbed. Wasn't a lethal wound, supposedly. She was able to get through it. And then, yeah, we already talked about, like, I wonder how it actually, she got involved with the Inquisitors. But love the sequence of Anakin showing up and, like, re-stabbing her.
Yeah.
But still leaving her to survive. Like, she's still not worth getting killed by the Grand Lord Vader. Yeah. She's a rat. She doesn't deserve the killing blow. Yeah, a solid installment. I do like this episode. I don't think it fully excuses some of the writing choices in the first few episodes. However, I do think this does help heal how I felt on some of the prior episodes a tiny bit.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, like, there could still have been better excuses in things that happen in prior episodes to keep it at least still entertaining and not making the audience have to be like, okay, why did it happen like that? That's a weird choice.
Yeah.
Like, you can still be deceptive, but make it fun for the audience so the audience doesn't feel like they're being betrayed in the moment.
Yeah.
Because it just leaves a lot of people wondering. But with that statement said, it's still made for an awesome reveal for the Grand Inquisitor walking in.
Yeah.
Because when he comes walking in at the right hand of Vader, it's like, okay, this was a plot by both of the heads. Like, both of them probably saw this coming. I mean, I'm kind of speaking out of my ass a little bit because I don't fully know that the Grand Inquisitor was on board with this, but it felt very aha. It felt very
gotcha,
stupid bitch.
Yeah.
I knew this was gonna happen. Like, because the Grand Inquisitor had the biggest smile on his face. He sat down, like, talked to her and was like,
yeah, no, he was like,
bye, Reva.
Yeah, he was like, revenge.
Which felt like that felt like a good Grand Inquisitor moment to me.
Yeah.
So that was probably, which is surprising because this is like, of all episodes, this is the episode that made me like Reva, and it's the episode that she basically gets shat on by other people I thought were going to be more vital to the story, which ended up being vital to the story.
Yeah. So. One thing too I was going to bring up before we wrap up like the last little piece of the plot is it sucks that the cast just doesn't feel like Tala outside of Reva, Obi-Wan, and Vader, and Leia. Or like Tala was like the only one that even felt like remotely important. And we got her for like 3 episodes straight, and she was basically in part 4, you know, Obi-Wan's like sidekick, you know, throughout the episode. It just sucks. Like even like the joke of like, oh man, we lost Wade, and it was like this sad
there's no
moment.
weight to it. Yeah, there's no
like it just doesn't feel. It's hard when they do stories like this where like you're adding in the cast, but it's like we're supposed to care. I just find it hard to care about some of the people, like when we just don't see them as much. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you can't have the cast and it's not enjoyable because like I like Tala. She was a great addition to like the story. I just wish that like
Yeah.
And I mean, Haj coming back kind of like fit that well, but it's just like everybody else in that.
I didn't really like him either. I'll just throw the sociopath card out there and say I didn't care for any of the extras in this. Like, we got a universe.
Sociopath
Like,
card.
Tatooine has like 1 billion population already, so this isn't. And this is where it just sounds like an evil person at this point, but like, I don't care. Like, if the Empire gets these people, because they didn't give us time to make me care for these people.
Yeah.
Like, if there is a universe where on one planet alone there is 1 billion people, there's going to be other Force users. This is not the end.
Yeah.
Like, this is not big stakes for me. I don't know why. I think it's like what you're saying. Roken, I mean, cool cameo from a new uprising actor. Didn't do it for me. His lines kind of fell flat, and he wasn't really selling the role for me. Haja is a bigger actor, getting well known, just not super charismatic or exciting to like be a part of.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough because they give them like 6 lines in total for the whole episode.
Yeah,
and like even like last episode, like I feel like this thing would have felt more weighted if like last episode we didn't spend the whole time on the prison trying to like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was like literally like 85% of the episode last time was on the not the prison but the castle. What do you call it? Not Sanctum Inquisitorius. What was it?
Castle Vader.
No. It's not Castle.
The
Vader.
prison. Azkaban prisoner. The Azkaban prison.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think technically it's not supposed to be a prison. I feel like all of those like Jedi are dead.
Okay. A tomb.
Yeah. But either way, like I just feel like if you're gonna use the cast, I feel like they need to be like used and put in more episodes.
Yeah.
And I mean, some people might just I don't know. I just feel like it didn't hit as well as it could have.
I
But
felt like I was watching.
Tal's the only one that really hit. That wasn't like the main people like Reva and
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
And she was just like barely enough for me to like truly care.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she was in 3 straight episodes, so it was like.
Yeah, like kind of like okay, sympathy tier, I guess, because you're supposed to be important in the show. Like I Poe Dameron's friend, the guy that J.J. Abrams has on the show, the sequel movies, because he's like friends with J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
He plays the cop from Heroes, and he's the pilot from Lost. Like it feels like I'm supposed to care for that guy. Like okay, he's a funny actor to see in the movies, but I don't care when he gets killed out of Palpatine's lightning in the sky. Because he's a throwaway character.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That's how all these people feel. Like, I'm sure there's... I don't know. I guess in my mind, honestly, I cared more for like what was going to happen to Reva than anything. Because I knew she was a main character in the show that I was interested and invested in to see how it would play out. And I knew that her time was ticking.
She's the most important person that we don't have an idea of what her story is.
True. Like, Obi-Wan can't die. Luke and Leia can't die. Even though, for some reason in my mind, I felt like I had to be worried about it.
Neither can the Grand Inquisitor, even though...
He can't die either. So, really, it just was Reva.
Yeah.
Like, Reva was the big stake for me in this episode, which probably was another reason I was interested in her for once. Like, it made me really worry and wonder how it was going to happen.
So now that she knows that there's children on Tatooine, Owen, and that Bail Organa's going there, what do you think she's gonna do?
I have an exact answer, but it's kind of more of a meme. We're gonna get a off-brand, a rat in the wilderness, Kenobi, like, Reva just shows up.
And that's gonna be like, wait, so you're protecting something?
Maybe. The original way that scene came about with the Maul and Obi-Wan thing in Rebels, I won't spoil. I mean, I don't know how it's a spoiler now. Anyone who's watching the show knows how Maul dies if you're staying in this conversation point. But how that story initially came was from a Legends story, like an anthology series of how he dies on Tatooine, and Owen Lars kills him. Maybe we'll get the Legends version of Maul's death, but it'll be Reva this time, and Owen Lars shoots her.
Yeah.
Trying to get to Luke. She learns of some truth of not only a Jedi, but the Jedi who might end the Sith.
Yeah.
She gets all, what? And then Owen pops her.
And that works because she's not associated with the Empire, so like she could go and do that, and they could kill her, and no one would know or care. They would think that she still died on Jambus, whatever the fuck this place is called.
The only thing is, it will feel like an off-brand Darth Maul moment.
We already have a Darth Maul moment, so it's, somebody's got to take the story.
I guess.
But
I'm saying it's still the Darth Maul story. It's just a multiverse version of it.
Yeah.
All right. Screw it. Do it.
Why not?
What about you? You have any other opposing or opposite ideas on that?
I'm really curious how the fuck this show's gonna end at this point.
I'm excited though. This was a good episode. Like, this hyped me up, and I'm honestly pretty shocked that we have another episode.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. This one's kept me interested to the show. So.
And we got Coruscant. Everything's better when you see Coruscant. Guys, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. If you enjoy Star Wars, make sure you go check out the playlist we've already run through. Let us know, what are some of the Star Wars things that have been announced that you're interested in and you might like to see us do at some point on Working Title. Can't do them all, so maybe tell us some of like the top 3 that you're interested in. And we'll see you in the finale. Punch it! Gah!